Joining us now from Washington is White House Communications Director Ben LaBolt. Ben, thank you so much for being with us this morning. As you just heard Tom talking there about, the pressure for a ceasefire continues to mount. When is President Biden going to have that come to Jesus meeting? Those are his words with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu.
The president has been working on this every hour, as has his administration and cabinet officials. Secretary Blinken is in the region right now. The president has been working with the prime minister. He's been working with regional partners such as the Egyptians, the Jordanians, the Qataris, to try to put in place a temporary ceasefire of 6 weeks that would get hostages out, get additional humanitarian aid into Gaza, and allow for a ceasefire that could be built from. As you know, and just pointed out in the last segment, the president is making sure that humanitarian assistance gets in by land, by air, and by sea to the 2 million civilians in Gaza that desperately need food, water, and medicine.
And would he specifically take those concerns to Netanyahu? Is that what he would tell them in this meeting?
Absolutely. Well, he's had a frank working relationship with the prime minister over the course of decades. He's talked to him many times since the terrorist attack on Israel of October 7th. And he has pressured the prime minister and the Israelis to get much more humanitarian assistance into Gaza. He's taken the extraordinary step of these airdrops and also providing assistance by sea, working with the Israelis because the trucks going across land were simply not getting across aid in. And so he needed to tap new channels.
But I know yesterday he did say that Netanyahu needs to do more. Now, one day after the State of the Union, the president started taking his message on the road. What is the administration's top priority right now?
Well, look, the president outlined those priorities in his State of the Union address the other night. 28 million Americans tuned in, but he knows that Americans consume information differently than they did 10, 20 years ago. He's taking his message on the road yesterday to Pennsylvania, today to Georgia, next week to Wisconsin, Michigan, and New Hampshire. He's focused on preserving democracy in this country after insurrectionists stormed the Capitol and tried to overturn the free and fair election results, restore Roe versus Wade after Donald Trump appointed Supreme Court justices that overturned it, and keeping the greatest American comeback story going. 15 million jobs created, inflation down by 2/3, wages are up. The president outlined policies to keep lowering costs for the American people and to make sure that corporations and the wealthiest pay their fair share.
Ben, real quick before we let you go, the president heading to Georgia, that is where the incident with Laken Riley happened. Immigration is a top concern for so many voters. What is the administration's response to the criticism that they haven't done enough to stop the flood of migrants?
The first bill that the president introduced was a comprehensive immigration reform bill that would have secured the border. Republicans in Congress didn't move on it. The president sent 2 funding packages to Capitol Hill last year to fund 1,500 Border Patrol agents, to fund fentanyl screening technology at the border, to provide more asylum officers and immigration judges to make sure that once you cross the border, it doesn't take 5-6 years to determine whether you can stay here or not. It should take 6 months or less. The president worked out a bipartisan deal with Oklahoma Senator Langford and Democrats in the Senate that the Senate was ready to move forward on. If the House allowed for a vote on that package, it would secure the border, provide more Border Patrol agents, and expedite those screenings.
All right. White House Communications Director Ben LaBolt, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.